I'm Lauren Kinsman-Costello. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Biological Sciences at Kent State University, and I am the research lead of the H2Ohio Wetland Monitoring Program. The H2Ohio Wetland Monitoring Program is a contract that a group of scientists that are all members of the Lake Erie and Aquatic Research Network, or LEARN, have received from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources to assess the effectiveness of wetlands that are being restored throughout the state of Ohio to improve nutrients and nutrient pollution to places like Lake Erie and the Ohio River Basin by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. So I'm leading a group of scientists from 6 different universities throughout the state of Ohio, including Kent State, and their teams of students and staff and technicians in measuring the soil and the water and the plants of wetland restoration projects throughout Ohio. The reason why the state of Ohio is investing in millions of dollars in wetland restoration through the H2Ohio Initiative is because of a pervasive problem called eutrophication. The western basin of Lake Erie, near Toledo and Sandusky, is a really economically and environmentally important area for the Great Lakes region, especially for the state of Ohio. But every year for the past decade or so, in summer, it experiences a proliferation of algae that produces a toxin, a harmful algal bloom that's made up of a tiny little algal cell, but lots of them grow, called microcystis, that produces a toxin called microcystin. It's harmful to pets and humans, and it creates really undesirable conditions for recreation or swimming or anything. It's driven by excess nutrients coming off the landscape. So both phosphorus and nitrogen, which are critical nutrients that every living thing needs to grow, including agricultural crops, when they get into places like the western basin of Lake Erie, they can be too much of a good thing and cause this overabundance of unwanted algae. Wetlands can have a natural ability to filter those nutrients, to chemically transform them, to store them, and prevent them from moving further downstream where they can cause those kinds of problems. Sometimes wetlands are even called the kidneys of the landscape because of their natural ability to filter water. But as part of my research and the research of others as a wetland ecologist, we know that no two wetlands are created equal, and especially restored wetland systems and constructed wetland systems are brand new and novel, and we don't fully understand, we can't fully predict which kinds of restoration approaches are going to be the most effective for treating both nitrogen and phosphorus. And so that's why the ODNR in the state of Ohio is investing not only in building and restoring wetlands, but in studying them. So their investment in our group of researchers, we're developing a first of its kind monitoring program. It's the only program we're aware of that's looking at so many different kinds of wetland restoration projects under a uniform framework to assess all together how are these individual sites working together to effectively treat nitrogen and phosphorus, and is there anything we can do in the future in terms of how we design and build and manage wetlands to do an even better job with that. Throughout the program, we're a really big team. Not only do we have 12 faculty, but each of those faculty employs 1 to 3 full-time technicians and many graduate and undergraduate students. Most of the positions are paid positions where students are coming and helping us collect data, and it also provides a tremendous opportunity for independent research experience. But the kind of independent research experience that not only generates new scientific knowledge, but generates new scientific knowledge that has a direct impact on policy and practice for the environment in our state and in the communities where these wetlands are in place. So students that get involved working with the H2Ohio Monitoring Program, both here at Kent State and in other universities, have opportunities to speak directly to the agency personnel, the consulting firms, all of the environmental professionals that study and create and manage wetlands. So anyone interested in scientific and non-scientific careers in the environment could benefit, and it's also a really wonderful experience to be able to spend a lot of your time out in a wetland site like this learning about it.